And before I go back to Jason, I kind of want to tell this story about a young patriot in Oneonta that I knew while I was working on Loose Change, and even before that kind of knew him. He was hung out at the bar next to the pizza joint I used to work in at night. And we would have drinks and get to talking, whatever. And one of his big things was he was not an Ike supporter either. And I think it was back in 05, 06 we were talking. He's like, and if he has Ike on that show, I'm sorry, I really love it, but I'm going to cancel my PrisonPlanet.tv membership. I hope he had a change of heart. Because in some cases, I almost feel like it's a necessary evil at one point. Alex Jones obviously being the top of the Patriot movement, but, David Icke fills up, big lecture halls. He does world tours. His books sell. So if we can bring those people in who are obviously open-minded and maybe hone their energies into what's real and what we can change, because let's face it, let's say David Icke is real for a second. Let's just go off the deep end for a minute. If it really is fourth dimensional lizard people that live off of our fear, we're pretty screwed, man. I don't know if we can overcome that. I don't know if we can win from that. I am trying to stick to the legislation. I am trying to stick to the police state. I am trying to stick to the bills that are out there. I am trying to stick to the physical and documented evidence of 9/11 truth and that sort of thing. But again, there are those people that just want to grab at the exotic. There, for some reason, monster hunters and UFO hunters are big shows on Sci-Fi and the History Channel. There is a market for that, and some people tap into it. And I want to. First of all, I used to be into UFOs when I was younger. I used to watch all the specials on them. I still think it's a super interesting subject, but I don't necessarily believe in extraterrestrials after looking at all the evidence. However, I would like to bring in the people that think that the Disclosure Project and all this stuff is 100% real, because we need them to again, focus on the real issues and focus their energy into something positive, like becoming a member of We Are Change, going to their city council meetings, thinking that they could be a House representative or a state senator or a city council member or the local mayor and that sort of thing. So go ahead. I'm going to give you the floor.
That's a good point. The only thing is
I know it's tough. Listen, I understand. It's almost cartoonish tough.
Yeah, well, you got them with you next to you, and then all of a sudden they spout out that that guy might be a lizard on camera, and that's going to ruin our credibility.
You know what? I don't like those people either, and you know what? I agree in full. I mean, if you're going to go do an actual video confrontation, let's stay away from most of the esoteric stuff. The farthest that I go on any of that stuff, at least in an interview or anything like that, is the Bohemian Grove, because I don't feel like I need to go any farther. I don't need to say, you sacrifice babies in the woods. You do a mock occult sacrifice when you say you're a Christian conservative and you have an owl god as a logo. Yeah, that's enough for me. That should be flipping people out right there. Why do you have to take it 12 steps further that you can't prove? And that's why I try to turn people on to the America's Secret Beginning series and that type of thing. But then, I remember reading comic books as a kid, and Image Comics recently did a series called New World Order, and it literally, I read the first issue. It was over at SMT Studios last September 11th while I was down there. And it starts right off with the lizard people, and they have Jordan Maxwell in the back. And I think Jordan Maxwell does an incredible amount of good work. However, I don't agree with Jordan Maxwell on a variety of issues. Does that mean that I'm going to... Yeah, I'm sure you don't either. There are some things out there I think that he's just a little off. Look, no one's perfect. No one's going to get it 100% right. But if we can bring more people into this movement, I'm for it, as long as it's in a nonviolent, peaceful manner. You know what I'm saying, brother?
Can I make a call? One last thing.
You got it.
I want to put something out there right now. Maybe there's some representatives and some legislators listening. How many more people have to die by the hands of cops and tasers before there's some legislation against these damn things?
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. And you know what? The other story that I wanted to bring up when that caller called in is this DUI suspect that got gunned down. Not only tased, he got tased and then shot 6 times. For what? Being drunk? When did we get to this country where you're...
Non-compliance?
Yeah, where you're non-compliant and you get shot 6 times. I mean, the guy didn't pull a gun or a weapon. What's the deal? Why are we shooting people who are inebriated? The guy probably didn't even know what was going on if he was as drunk as they say. I thank you for the call, brother. We're going to come back, take more calls, 866-582-9933. It's the Infowarrior. Go check out PrisonPlanet.tv and, of course, Infowars.com.